Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ebro is on his way to Oakland.
He is.
He's got to shoot a commercial for Beats by Dre.
Damn.
You know, one of those things like that he doesn't include us in. But anyways, don't worry. We're here holding it down for
Another
Ebro in the
check that
morning.
no one's included.
Yeah, exactly. It's his own check.
Yeah.
But Tyrese is here.
Yay,
We have The Fate of the
welcome.
Furious out next Friday, the 14th, the 8th installment.
Yes, it's real.
Have you been in every one?
No.
When did you come on board? I know Rocky
I
came in 3.
part 2.
You came in 2.
I missed 3 and 4, and I came back for 5.
And then you came back. Now, when you came back for 5,
Yeah.
did you think realistically that you were going to be doing at least 4? No, and you're signed
No.
in for another 2.
No.
So like 6 more, 7 more?
No. I actually thought, people don't know this, but I actually replaced Vin for part 2 because they couldn't make a deal with him after they did 1. So when we came back to do 5, it was my first time working with Vin. And so it almost felt like, and it was something that we never addressed, but it was almost like now I got to sing with somebody who stepped in to replace me.
Oh, you
in
was
the
trying to
group.
replace me?
It's like, so you want me to sing with you now? When you the dude that stepped in to give him a little baritone
Yeah.
after I was replaced?
Yeah.
So, but you know, what craziest thing ever, the vibe, the chemistry, it was like we formed this brotherhood, man, that's like crazy.
Now hold on,
Crazy.
I'm gonna dig right in here because
Yeah.
I feel comfortable with you. I've known you for a long time now.
Yeah.
Why
Here
pull
we go.
punches? I got to get into the real stuff.
Here we go.
Okay.
The Rock
Yeah.
and Vin Diesel are no good, and that is a fact. And I just got back from WrestleMania, and I was around many people who know The Rock, and I know The Rock and Vin are no bueno from everything I ever hear, and it's been written about extensively. They won't do press together. You're good with both. Are you good with Vin and The Rock?
Those are my guys.
And has it ever put you in an awkward spot? Besides
No.
the one you're in right now, trying to answer this,
No.
how do you balance out those
No.
relationships? Because I know it has been rough for them at
Well,
times.
here's the thing, you know, because I went to media training,
Here we go.
I'm gonna wrap this all the way up and say that there is no such thing in any work environment where you have to be around people for a long time that at a certain point you're not gonna get irritated. Somebody's gonna say or do something,
Of course.
and it becomes like whatever. So you may
course.
appear to be one way on camera or while the mic is live, but then there's a reality of what's really going on when you get off the camera. So the problem that I had, it doesn't matter who the actual issue was about. I'm not being politically correct.
I'm
not.
No, you are.
No, I'm not. I mean, you may know more details than me.
I do.
because you
By the
went
way,
to
I just
WrestleMania.
happened to literally read last week. I happened to see a tweet that was like, "The Rock is not doing promo with Vin Diesel."
That's not true, because if anybody really know what the hell they talking about, they will see that we did the world premiere of the trailer and all of us together laughing, hanging out right here in Times Square
right?
while the whole world was watching.
Okay.
And this was after the quote-unquote beef. So it's not true.
Okay.
Okay? It's 15 of us in the fucking cast.
It is a lot of people.
And we
It's a lot of personalities.
We are able to do a whole lot of press and media domestically and internationally at the same time while not having to be in the same place.
And that said, though, you've got to make friends with all kinds of people on this.
I get along with everybody.
Who are
This is the point that I was getting to. You cannot be in and around any work environment where you got to be around the same people for a long period of time and not expect something to pop up.
Of course.
The issue is that if you take something that's private and put it onto your timeline. So if, you know, being as that I'm cool with both and cool with everybody in the cast, that's the conversation that I had. It's not about what you feel about him and what you feel about her. Let's just keep whatever we're doing about us.
Because we're all doing something.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
this
family.
franchise
Yeah.
is not about any of us individually.
And that's actually really true, because you have a ton of big stars, and it's very hard for anyone to say that like
the
it's
movie
specifically
is
them.
successful
Right.
because of me. No,
Right?
it's about all of us and what we are. Matter of fact, if one of us were to try and do the next version of Fast and the Furious by herself, good luck.
Right.
It's an ensemble cast. It's diverse. It's about all of us and the star power that we all bring to the table.
Now, you were very public and vocal about the tragedy of Paul Walker's passing. It was such an awful, awful thing to see from the outside.
Still bad.
And I'm sure it's still bad.
Yeah.
How did it affect you guys as a cast and moving forward into the new film? Because that film, the last one, he had been a part of,
Yeah.
and you finished it up. This is the first time you've done one without him, where
Completely,
his
right.
spirit, it may still be around, but he's no longer there.
What the perspective I'd like to kind of add is that this is not about how sad we are about not doing the Fast and the Furious without Paul. We're all still in our feelings about the fact that our brother is just not here. You know, it's like, well, I only love you and rock with you in the capacity of doing a movie. That's not what
you guys were friends in real life.
That this 15 years of laughter, energy. There's a lot of bad people that wake up every day with horrible intentions towards someone, and they're still alive.
I know.
Paul was the nicest dude you could ever meet. I've never even heard his voice go above a certain octave. And so we're just like kind of dealing with the reality of losing our brother, independent of the fact that we made movies with him. So, you know, and obviously when this type of thing happens, because we've all lost someone we love and care for, whether they're a public figure or not, you tend to do whatever you got to do on their behalf to make them proud. And that's the space we're all in. We hope that we made him proud while making the movie. We hope that it's very successful and it carries the legacy of something that him and Vin Diesel and Michelle started. They started the franchise.
And it has to be nice to know that when you guys do well, I'm sure this franchise, as it goes on, does well for his family as well. You know, this is something that he's invested
it's
in
all about his family and Paul, for sure. And all of his friends who were real friends with him every single day, rocking with him, surfing with him. His real friends. We want to make everybody proud with what we did.
Yeah, he is one of those guys that like sort of jumped off the screen and just in the fact that he appeared lovable from the very beginning.
Good man.
So rest in peace to Paul Walker.
Yes.
This film though, I had a meeting with my agent the other day, and he's represents
my agent.
Yeah. Well, actually,
he was waiting to say that.
no, actually, and I'll be honest, this guy's not my agent. He's a little bigger than me. He's like one of the bigger agents of the company. But we were just meeting, and he represents the writer of this film. And he
Chris Morgan.
Chris, exactly. And man, I said to him, I was like, man, has there ever been a franchise like this in film? He said, never. This is the only time this ever happened.
It actually started. This is the first non-comic book, non-TV show turned movie that's gotten to 8 in a franchise.
And soon to be 10.
Well, yeah, God willing. That way I don't, keep running over my minutes on my cell phone. So it all started with a Vibe magazine article out here in New York. And people don't know that. There was a Vibe magazine article about 16 years ago, and it talked about this private kind of underbelly car culture world where they do races and it's multi-ethnic, and they took that little blurb and turned it into 8 movies. Real talk. Vibe magazine.
What's the total money it's grossed over the years?
Somebody should have definitely put their hand out to get a piece of a bag after an article was written that turned
seriously.
into the Fast.
What is it? It's billions of dollars?
Oh yeah, it's that serious.
Billion?
Yeah. Well, the last one did 1.5. So.
Did you become obsessed with car culture after that? Like especially
no,
the underground one?
I've always loved cars. I mean, I'm from LA. A lot of New Yorkers use public transportation still to this day because it's actually faster to move around. I'm from LA, born and raised, so it's always been about the cars. In the hood, it was about the Impalas.
Laura, do you want to tell about your father in the hood in LA, what he did?
So I was born and raised in LA too, and I told Peter Rosen that my dad was, of course, he was a auto mechanic engineer, but on the weekends he used to fix cars for the cholos in the neighborhood. He was like, "I'll fix your car, I'll hook you up if you stay away from my daughters." But he used to hook up. Yeah.
Yo, that's
that was the thing. So
what about his club though? What about the club?
Yes. So do you remember bug clubs where it's like all these VW bugs? They would get dropped with the split windows or oval windows, like the 52s.
That was part of a VW bug club.
So that's what it was. So they used to cruise,
and
they
your pops fixed Impalas.
No, he did
you
too. He did that too.
Yeah, you did the whole
Yeah,
nine,
he did
right?
that too. But Peter loves the fact that he used to fix like a lot of the bug clubs.
I just never heard of a bug club until
Yeah,
then.
it's a VW
I never
bug
heard
club.
of bug club either.
Really?
Watch,
You
look
still
it up.
want
It
to
was
join
a thing.
one? Would you
No,
join
we
one?
good.
Well,
We
what are
good.
you into right now? Why? Because it's obviously bugs are not your thing.
But when I'm saying bugs, I mean like classic V-dubs, like 52s and,
listen, I've
dropped.
seen
It was
I've
dope.
seen some custom VWs. That's a game changer.
What's your
the engine's
Yeah.
all chromed out because the engines are in the...
What's your main piece? What's your favorite car?
Well, I actually don't like cars that are loud because I got ADD. So I don't like loud
I hate motorcycles.
tailpipes, motorcycles, Ferraris, Lambos. That's not.
I knew I liked you.
Yeah, that's not my thing. Yeah. So I like a car that's fast as hell but quiet.
So what is that?
So I'll take like a Benz, I'll take, if I can get a Rolls or something that's like extra fast but quiet.
How many cars do you have? Are you like a guy who has 7?
Did you keep that orange Lambo you were driving in the movie?
I tried to keep it, but I just wanted it because I was in the movie with it. I didn't look forward to the loud engine.
How's Gibby Hanna doing?
First of all, I just want to let you know that I didn't believe him at the beginning.
I came back here like, guys, I swear to God, Tyrese has a Benihana in his backyard. I saw it. I saw it. By the way, it was so crowded, I couldn't even get a meal there because it was so popping.
Wait, then I heard that you have a Starbucks too, and then you have, I don't know, God knows what.
Yeah, well, my backyard is supposed to be for us. You ever come in town, instead of dealing with cameras and folks all up in your business, my loved ones get to come to my backyard and have fun. So it's a happy place.
It's a great place. I gotta tell you, it was one of the best.
I lost this dude. Like, I was hanging out with him for a second, and he got lost. Like, where did he go?
Right.
And I was trying to give him as much energy as I could.
He really did, by the way. He gave us the tour of the house, showed us everything.
But I was like, this dude got lost in the backyard, and then like 4 hours later, I was like, dude, where did you go? He was like, yo, I'm good. I ate.
He got everything back there.
I got sleepy after I ate, so I got some Starbucks. So I gotta get in my Uber. I didn't really want to fall asleep in the backseat of my Uber, so it was all love.
Wait, but why are you into that stuff? Like, did you always just think, was that one of those things where you're like, well, if I ever get rich, I want to have my very own blank?
No, it was never the plan. But they say if you want to invent something, pay attention to what people complain about. So our biggest complaint in LA is that the clubs close at like 2 a.m. So they start kicking you out at like 1:30. And it's like, okay, well, now I got a nightclub in the backyard. So we can turn up till 6 a.m. if we want. The walls are this thick and insulated. My neighbors be in my yard with me.
They don't care.
It's cracking. No, if you can't call the police on me if you in the yard
Right,
with me.
right.
That's a very good point.
And I could imagine it has to be nice to be able to live free and feel free without worrying about, people filming you and having,
we don't allow cameras. I'm pretty much the only one that be putting up clips and videos in my backyard when the turn up is happening.
Right.
Now, what was the deal with him and Ebro? The thing they were both going off about?
Because we saw on social media that you made a comment about women, and was it women who get plastic surgery or get weaves and lash extensions and not being
Ebro
real?
Caught some heat too.
Yeah.
He
jumped in too. I sat
sent
back.
him a DM.
Because his tweet,
she's sitting back. She's sitting back.
His tweet was something about if you have weaves and eyelashes and fake nails.
Yeah, well,
and
people twist it. Obviously, when you write a caption, it's expected of people to interpret a caption the way they want. I never specifically said I had a problem with lashes
weaves
and makeup and weaves. That was so far from twisted, and I specifically never targeted black women. That's the furthest thing that I did. I even wrote in my caption, I'm not talking about black women, not even remotely. So, but when you talk about anything that has to do with cosmetic surgery, legs this skinny, getting into a butt all the way out here, that it's just a bunch of sensitivities that most people would want to stay away from. I simply said, while listening to a conversation of women like bashing and tearing down me, I was sitting in on a conversation. My follow-up was like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but us as men, we actually notice way more than you think we do. And then I went down my list. And then that's what it opened up the floodgate. I never said that it's all about all natural over anybody getting this and that. It was just really about pointing out the fact that while y'all are bashing us as men and pointing out all the stuff that you notice, we notice things too. And then I went down my full list of things that we notice that most women won't think we notice.
For example?
I'm not here to reopen the wound.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can tell when somebody has fake nails or lash extensions and obviously like a weave. So you don't specifically have a problem with women who get that?
No.
Because I think with Ebro, he was like, women
that
took
would be
it as
like me alienating my whole fan base.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, like a woman is fake if she has a weave.
Whatever
blah, blah,
Ebro
blah.
did, just do the opposite. Just see how Ebro carries himself on social media and then run the other direction.
Ebro jumped out there. Usher put up something talking about
Usher
it.
too?
It's and then Kendrick just did a verse talking about
ass with the stretch marks.
Like at the end of the day, here's the thing. I think to not make women feel like they're under attack, because we get attacked every day too about being cheaters, liars, fake, this and that. It happens every day. I think that what the state of the world that we live in right now is that everybody is uncomfortable with keeping it real.
That's
As
facts.
soon as you jump
I can see
out
that.
there to say anything and spark a dialogue about politics, homosexuality, natural versus fake versus this versus that, it's like, whoa, you should have just left that alone and just sold your movie. It's like that's like no one is ever going to even consider. Like somebody was on their way to get their nose down to a level of a Michael Jackson level, and
Right.
they may have read an Instagram post and decided, you know what, maybe I need to chill out. You just never know.
I agree with you.
So at the end of the day, when you jump out there and spark these uncomfortable dialogues, it's expected of you to get some pushback and resistance. And if you ain't got thick skin, you need to leave the shit alone completely. I got thick skin.
Right.
I'm okay. I mean, I actually wrote about this in my first 2 books. So I wasn't having a conversation.
First 2 books.
Yeah. That's
Is
right.
it-
Bar. New York Times
New
bestseller.
bar. Oh, how many you
Okay?
got? How many you
And
got?
we talked about this on the show that I had with Rev Run, which also means like I've never been afraid to talk about hard topics.
Well, I think you're in a great position, to be honest, to talk about hard topics.
Right.
I feel that your audience knows you very well, and they've watched you grow up, and now you've been consistent in the issues you sort of care to speak on.
Yeah.
And I think that you're trusted in that sense. I think like your audience, which we know is probably predominantly black women, I think trust you and allow you to sort of get a little bit more leeway to talk about things than maybe some people do.
I think the real heat comes down the pipe when you are not one of them people that talk about anything in politics. How do you feel about Trump? How do you feel about the women marching and the Muslim ban? Like, how do you feel? If you stay completely out of it and you just promote your music, your movies, and TV for ratings, when you finally jump out there, I mean, you get attacked like piranhas throwing a piece of meat out there. You just get ate alive. But I've been consistently vocal since the beginning of my career
About stuff that means something
about
to you.
stuff that matters. And then when you jump out there, it's expected of people to twist your words, misinterpret you. You either gonna at some point apologize if you feel the need to, or you just gotta just take the heat and just say fuck it.
Are you yet to have you had a situation yet in your career in which the Trump thing, for example, has reared its head, where like you're meeting with someone maybe and you go, a powerful person, you're like, man, we don't see the same way on this issue?
I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, people felt a certain kind of way about Obama. And I was an Obama supporter. I voted for him. People loved Trump or he would not be in the office. At the end of the day, this is America. You happen to be an entertainer, but state your position. And sometimes we could make people feel comfortable in whatever pain or situations they may be feeling from being so vocal about how you feel about what's going on in the state. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for not being another entertainer that's milking the shit out of all of us as fans and supporters and not being willing to use your God-given stage of power and influence to actually address the real shit that's going on.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, you know, if it's not who you are, then leave it alone. Period. But if you happen to have a voice and you're willing to be vocal about whatever it is the hot topic is, then state your position, but just know if you open up that door, the heat's coming. And if you can't deal with the heat, sit your ass down.
Yeah, because not everyone's going to agree with you. I mean, we've seen it with artists that open up about depression, even something as depression.
And they get attacked.
And we've seen them get a lot of praise, but we've also seen them get attacked
Right.
too.
Because, you know, it's a public platform and the cameras is rolling. If you're going to jump out there, you got to be ready for it.
I'm sure you got to go in a second. The movie's out next week. But lastly, we'd be remiss. In my preps here, it says that you ran off and quietly got married on Valentine's Day. Is this a fact?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
my
amazing.
wife.
Yeah, congrats.
Where's your wife?
Right there.
There's a gaggle of
hi.
beautiful women over there. The one in front.
Samantha Gibson. That's my baby.
So tell. Can you tell us a little bit about the wedding?
Well, we did it at home. And
At Gibbiana. They
No,
cater.
man.
Gibbiana's
Gibbiana.
we did it at the house. It was super low. It was actually in Georgia at the other spot, and we're gonna do the big wedding in LA on the 4th of July. So we just wanted to keep it low, which we did. It was private, intimate. Told nobody they can bring any cameras in. And,
It was just.
you
It was
know,
like mostly family
Just
and very
family.
close friends.
it was only family.
Only family.
And friends. And not even all my friends. It was mainly hers because she's been living there for like 16 years. From Jersey, but been in the ATL. So it was beautiful. I was single for 4 years, man. you know, after your facial hairs come in and you still in the club with bottles and models and ordering sparklies to get delivered to your section, at a certain point, that shit gets old.
Yeah.
It's grown man season. And, you know.
And that's, by the way, that season's never ending. It's the season for the rest of your life. It's called rest of your life season. Buckle up.
Look, at the end of the day, you know, I ain't come here to give married versus single advice. I would just simply say nobody wants to be alone. And a lot of men who are promiscuous and active and going from one to the next, even women, you can relate to being in the bed with somebody and still feeling alone. At a certain point, that shit just gets old, and you just hope that you can pray that God send you something that you can laugh with and enjoy and be inspired by, and that's it. And you know what's so crazy? All of this energy that went out there, which I don't even want to get into, it was just so crazy. And then I had to realize at a certain point, it ain't about what we posted or how it posted. It was really about the fact that I'm a single man that people love and desire and certain fantasy about, whatever.
That's
and
right.
then when you get married or you get a relationship of any sort, people gonna get mad. That's how I felt about Holly Berry. That's how I felt about Janet Jackson. All of the people that I fantasize
Those are mine
about
too,
and
too.
love.
I don't even like you talking about both of them like that. Because 13-year-old me would have fought you on the spot.
So when somebody like that gets married or settle down or let alone have a kid, I mean, it just becomes uncomfortable for any man to witness. Now, obviously, you have to be with somebody at some point, but you just don't want it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So,
So
it just
was there a thing people came for you? Because I don't even know about it.
Yeah, it happened a little bit.
People came.
But
All right. Well, how long you guys been together?
we started rocking about 2 years ago. We met through mutual friends and stayed in touch, and I guess it was about God's timing when the magic was supposed
Have
to
you
happen.
sung "Sweet Lady" to her yet?
Yeah, of course.
If he hasn't sung "Sweet Lady" beginning to end, I want to have a conversation.
She's smiling from ear to ear. I'm pretty sure it happened. I'm pretty sure
Have
it
you guys
happened.
ever been on pub? Like, has there ever been a time when you guys like are at the airport and you get on the shuttle to go to the plane, and then he gets up and lives out the commercial?
Man, if you-
on the bus.
Yo, just stop. Before you go, you're doing the Mother's Day Good Music Fest at the Barclays Center.
Yes, Barclays. Listen, make sure y'all get y'all tickets. I don't get to perform in New York that often. We doing a Mother's Day thing at Barclays.
Who are you performing with?
Few tickets available.
They gonna be out that night,
Who
boy.
else is on
It's
the bill?
Anthony Hamilton.
Scotty.
Anthony
Anthony
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Who else?
Brandy.
Who else? They are going to be out. Listen, I want to tell your wife right now, stay away from that show. Give him like 100 yards. Because some of those ladies in there, some of those ladies on Mother's Day,
She's been to my concert.
she's seen it?
She know how
They
we
are
get
going to
down.
be
She love
right,
it.
they're going to be ready for Mother's Day love.
She knows
from
all the
Tyrese.
lyrics to all my songs. She's my biggest supporter.
So you're gonna
she
see
rocks.
that will be amazing. So that's going down on Mother's Day, May 12th.
12th.
We love. I love that you do shows like that, as well as are in billion-dollar franchises, multi-billion-dollar franchises, and are willing to
I'm
speak
on my
out.
way to Denver too, man. Make sure y'all come check me out. That's gonna be
You want people to fly along with you?
April 30th. Huh?
So if you didn't, April 30th.
Yeah, everyone watches this show
Yeah, I'm about to say
online.
you're
So
right. It's
there's folks
national.
in Denver.
There are folks in
Yep.
Denver right now. You're right.
That's
Fair enough.
gonna, you know what I mean? So don't try and make me feel bad about letting them know in Denver
You're right.
that I'm coming on the 30th.
You're right.
You
You're
know
right.
what I'm saying?
You're right. We're
That's
national.
all I'm saying.
We're national.
Thank you so much.
Hey, good luck with the movie. Not that you need it, but we love seeing you, man.
Yeah, make sure y'all
Thank
go
you.
check us out. Appreciate it.
Tyrese, ladies and gentlemen.